Welcome to another video on how to become a business consulting freelancer. So after I went through these several modules in this course from the fundamentals and then getting started as a business consultant and how to find and land high paying consulting clients, now I am looking at how to conduct a research and gather quality data. And to make a quick recap of that is understand that data is something powerful because it can help you to influence others, reinforce your point of view, inform, but also can be misleading. And because of that, you need is to identify, especially if you're conducting a consulting project, uh, where are the most to the least valuable, which is data that are relevant for your consultation. And that is data that come from the company, which is the first party data from trust source, which they have a proven record of research report, peer review, and aggregate sources. The quality of the source, you can check that because you cannot some of the time find out who the author really is, but it's important to know that they exist. And when it comes to conduct the research, whether it's first playing devil advocate with yourself, so see things from different perspectives, okay, and then gather relevant data as well as take note and keep record of every source you obtain. So then you qualify this data that you get from and go back to the client. Okay, so circle back to the client and repeat that process. So a real life example of that from the Zero to Mastery instructor, Paul Manders, from the marketing perspective, he conducted a research on a tourist website, and the guidelines he outlined first understand what this tourist website or this website offer, all the product and service, and then go into the specific to understand is okay, what are the categories, the price, what makes this company unique, because that's what you're gonna use in your consulting. And then if you can have access, go to the first party data to see what they have done in the past, how they have been performing, and from there see how you can provide your suggestions. So by making an understanding and conduct a research of their branding, websites, what how much they charge, the price, categories, then you look at the second party data, which is performing is the competitor analysis to see who the other players in that industry are, what they're doing, and see what you can learn from that and make a keyword research based on that. So then by using is a keyword tools to understand what's going on in that industry, and on top of that research, keyword research, then you're gonna look to get up-to-date feedback. So worst news, uh, and the whole idea here is that see how everything that you have researched, what is most likely to work today, and that including is see how this industry is adapting to regulations and where this industry is going. And again, this is on the tourist. So I apply that on the e-commerce sphere because after all, this is something that I would like to dedicate. Okay, the e-commerce. And from that, then first I need to understand is what in e-commerce. What is an e-commerce? So Amazon mentioned that is the good the trade of good and service on the internet. It is imagine that is your bustling city center or your brick and mortar shop conversing to zeros and one into the internet superhighway, right? Shopify mentioned that yes, well, e-business refers to all aspects of operating an online business, whether it's marketing, sales, accounting, human resource, management operations, IT, service, customer service, and R&D, research and development. E-commerce refers specifically to the trade of goods on the internet. So then I look at the most common type of e-commerce or aka business model and the actors involved, which is the government, the business, and the consumers. So as well as the relationship and how they trade, how they interact each other. So the most widely common business model is the business to consumers, such as online retailers like Amazon, Walmart, or Target, digital marketplace, Etsy, eBay, subscription service like Netflix, Spotify, or also any subscription service, DoorDash as well, Uber Eats, okay? Online travel and booking like Expedia, Booking.com, and Airbnb, and food ordering and delivery service such as Grubhub, especially in the US, Uber Eats, DoorDash. Another business model or type of e-commerce is the business to business. Where now here you have online marketplace like Alibaba, eBay Business, Amazon e-business, EDI, electronic data interchange, which are systems that traditionally paperwork that were made on paper now it is done electronically to exchange within the company or another company in a secure way. IBM provide this kind of is one of the vendors. Online portals for business that want to streamline their supply chain and procurement process, the purchase of sales of goods and service in large amounts, usually to get a good bid, such as SAP Arriva Network or Walmart Supply Center, right? So online business set and online portals to that. Wholesale e-commerce like Granger or Uline, where now manufacturing distributor they sell product to business, and business to business payment solutions like Stripe and PayPal. And then another relationship is the consumers to business, such as freelance work, where now consumers offer their service to specific business activities, all right, such as marketing, sales, accounting, human resource, IT, management operations, customer service, and R&D in platforms like Upwork, in platforms like Upwork, Fiverr, or freelance survey, online survey like SurveyMonkey. So consumers can now participate in paid survey, usually for market research purpose. User-generated content, where now consumers sell their content to business, whether it's audio, image, photos, Influencer is also taking a huge part of this. Also, we have is crowdfunding, okay, such as Indiegogo and Kickstarter, and reverse auctions. So where now consumers can submit a price quota to a product offered by a business or good or offered by a business in a reverse auction. Another relationship is the government to business, something very, very important. And a couple examples, 5 examples, like procurement portals, public procurement portals. So now government agency provides online platform for business to bid on government contract like the FBO on the US, the Federal Business Opportunity, or the UK Contract Finder Service. Uh, Tax filing and payment systems, such as the Electronic Federal Tax Payment System on the US or the HM Custom and Revenue. Permits and licensing, where now business can apply for food, uh, food license or building permits. International trade and custom clearance, when a government agency provides service to facilitate cross-border trade across companies, such as electronic custom clearance or export declaration, which is a couple of paperwork that the company needs to fill that indicate to the government, hey, I'm going to import or export my service, my good or service. In business registration, uh, well, the SBA on the US, the Small Business Administration, and the or the company house in the UK. Now, when it comes to the government to consumers, so governments provide tax payment portals such as the IRS, so the citizens can pay its taxes. Uh, yeah, so citizens can pay its taxes by payment options provided by the government, platforms, vehicle license and permits, such as the DMV in California, USA, this Department Motor Vehicle, or the Driver and Vehicle Licensing Agency on the UK, passport applications and renewal, such as the US Department of State of Passport Service, or the UK HM Custom Revenue. As well as the utility bills, okay, and payment of fines and fees uh, as well. And when it comes to the consumer to business, now you have online donations when consumers can donate to government agencies or organizations, such as disaster relief, like or in websites like the American Red Cross or UNICEF, which stands for United Nations International Emergency Children Fund, United Nations International Children's Emergency Fund. Uh, Permits and licensing, such as food or hunting permit or fishing licensing, and again government fees and payment. In online petitions. So now citizens can collect petitions so they can influence on government policies in place like change.org, for example. So once I look at that, okay, and now I understand that, well, then I look at where are the places where this e-commerce takes place. So whether it's on the mobile, on the enterprise, or on social media. Okay, and then I look at a quick recap of the competitor analysis, whether it's understanding is the understanding uh, at least these other the competitors like Amazon, Alibaba, uh, Amazon, Alibaba, eBay, IKEA, Shopify, and then conduct a keyword research based on that and to understand what is going on in that industry. Most of the time is for Shopify, okay, to create websites, set up point of sales, uh, also use Amazon gift cards, uh, and the whole point of this is to understand what is the common, so what's going on in that industry, and from that, then you have to look at the recent news to get up to date data, what's going on and where this industry is going and how it is adapting to regulations. So once I understand that guidelines, then now it's time to know how to create visually engaging presentations. Because at the end of the day, most of the time, people understand data and statistic or visual graph much more faster than reading it. So we are visual learners and we process most of the time visual content faster than a code. And also to understand that the ultimate goal of creating this report, this visually engaging report, is to tell the client how you reach to that conclusion, and that is guiding you through the statistics, the numbers, the visualizations, see all these patterns, see all these meaningful patterns, and tell them what really matters for this. So, in other words, is that right? So, the TLDR of creating a visually engaging presentation is to display the data in a visually appealing way with the statistics and data, which is much more easy to point out these meaningful patterns. And as a consultant, the client needs to know how you came with that conclusion. And with that knowledge, you can put your suggestion at practice. And your business will going to stand up because the client or the yeah, because the client understand that you're not another consultant that just do the bare minimum, that you just does the bare minimum to get by. And this is something important, understanding this, okay, genuinely, because after all, that's what I'm doing here. And important is to put at practice, is to put that at practice. There's a combination between theory and practice. Okay. There's a combination between theory and practice. Okay. 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 Cool. Cool. It's a combination between theory and practice. That's right. That's right. So Again, the whole point of this is that the whole point of creating this visually engaging presentation is to display data in a visually appealing way with statistics and charts, which is much more easy to point out the meaningful pattern. And as a consultant, the client needs to know how you came with a conclusion. And with that knowledge, you can put your suggestions into practice. And perhaps to me, this is a little bit, no, 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 no. No, focus. Beyond the, because what I was about to say is that this will be something challenging to me, but it is challenging if you're not in the present moment. That's all. That's all. If you're not in the present moment, it is challenging, of course. So, but in any case, so the whole point of knowing how to visualize, how to create visually engaging presentation is to display data, uh, display data with statistics and charts, which are much more easy to point out the meaningful patterns. And as a consultant, the client needs to know how you come with uh, how you came to that conclusion. The client needs to know how you came to that conclusion. And with that knowledge, you can provide or you can put your suggestions into practice. Okay, so once the client understands how you came out with the process, with how you came out with that conclusion by showing them in a visually engaging presentations, statistic and charts to point out the meaningful patterns, then you can put your suggestion at practice. Okay. So this is something that it might take time to do so. Okay. This is something that it might take time to do so. So business is gonna see that you go above and beyond as a consultant. Exactly. So the business or the client will see that you go above. You see that you go above and beyond as a consultant, and you're not just another that just the bare minimal to get by. So in my own words, the client wants to know how you reach to that conclusion through visually engaging presentation with charts and statistics to see the meaningful patterns and then allow you to implement your suggestions as a consultant. This is another way to put it. Another way to put it. But yeah, I will go with this definition. So when someone tells me, okay, why do you create in this visually engaging presentation? Why do you want the visuals? Okay, and you say, well, by showing us the visuals in a visually appealing way with statistics and charts, I can point out the meaningful patterns. And as a consultant, you want to know how I came to the conclusions, and knowing that, I can put my suggestions into practice. And what I'm doing is this is a sales pitch, man. This is actually a sales pitch. This is actually a sales speech, just like that. And well, business or your client will see that you go above and beyond as a consultant, and you are not another consultant that just do the bare minimum to get by. So knowing that, again, deeply understand that, okay? Deeply understand that. Then I look at the different charts and graphs you may include in your report. So what I'm gonna do is remember each one of them as the use case. So why do I need to use that? and when can we do that, right? So the bar graph, our most common use. So the bar graph, the most common use cases are to show change over time, compare different categories, or par as a whole. Okay, this is the main or the most common use case of bar chart. Again, I'm looking here different charts and graphs that I might use to include in my reports. Okay, so anytime that I want is to show change over times or compare two different categories or part as a whole, bar chart is the way to go. Pie chart, anytime that I want to make part to a whole comparison with discrete or continuous data, and with a small data set, pie chart is our candidate. Okay, pie chart is our candidate when we want to make part to a whole. Okay, so pie chart is our candidate when we want to make part or to a whole comparison with discrete or continuous data and with a small data set, according to Data Hero, company. So pie chart, area chart. So you want to show time series relationship with continuous data. Time series relationship with continuous data, and they help you to show trends, acceleration and deceleration, and volatility. Scatter plot. So when you want to see relationship between items on a when you see when you want to see relationship between items based on two set of variables, this is very very important. Okay, when you want to see relationship of when you want to see relationship between items on two set of variables, or the correlation in large amount of data, scatter plot is the way to go. So for example, you have customer satisfactions in time response. Relationship of or relationship between items on two set of variables, on two set of metrics. Okay, on two set of metrics. So to see correlation in large amount of data. So for example, time or customer satisfactions and time spent. Or time to respond. So customer satisfaction, customer happiness, and time to respond. Okay, and then you got bubble charts. So most common use case is this. So display nominal comparison or ranking relationship. Bubble chart. Okay, when you want to, that's right. This is something important. Display nominal comparison or ranking relationship. They showcase three variables of data and add a combo of scatter plot and a proportional area chart. So there is a mix between area chart, which if you want to see time series relationship, okay, if you want to see time series relationship with continuous data to look for trends, accelerations, decelerations, or volatility. So area chart, they're good is the way to go. Okay, so with area charts, anytime you see time series relationship with continuous, anytime you want to see time series relationship with continuous data to help you show trends, acceleration, decelerations, or volatility. And scatter plot, when you want to see the relationship between items on two set of variables. okay, to see correlation in large data sets. So for example, customer happiness and time to respond. And the bubble chart is a mix between scatter plot and area chart, where now you can see is three variables here. So it's to display nominal comparison or ranking relationship. Nominal comparison or ranking relationship. What the is nominal comparison? Nominal comparison. refers It refers to a comparison of two or more items based on their names or titles, without considering any underlying attribute or characteristic. Its basic form of comparison does not involve any quantitative or qualitative analysis. So, for example, comparing the name of two different products or brands without taking into account their features, price, quality, or performance will be nominal comparison. Comparing the names of two different products or brands without taking into account their features, price, quality. Okay, it only takes into account without considering any underlying attributes. Nominal comparison is a comparison that doesn't take in consideration any underlying attribute. It's to simplify things. Nominal comparison are often used in marketing, advertising, and branding to create awareness and recognition of a product or service by highlighting its name or logo. However, relying solely on nominal comparison can be misleading and ineffective in making informed decisions, as they do not provide a complete picture of the actual difference of similarity between the items being compared. Interesting. Okay, even though that you are looking to this data, it's not helpful, because since this only show, since this is a comparison based on names, so since this is a comparison that doesn't take its underlying features, uh, it can be misleading and ineffective. So bubble charts, even though that are useful to display nominal comparison, that doesn't show the underlying feature, but it can help you to see, or it can help you to set three variables in your data. It's a mix between scatter plot and area chart. Is helpful in comparing multiple data points on the same chart. So for example, here, hours spent online by age and gender. Yeah, hours spent online by age and gender. So hours spent, age, and the gender, female and age. But again, it doesn't take any underlying features, for example, of the female and male, or how long does it take, uh, when it was collected, this data, how it was collected. The other is heat map. Okay, so with that, that'll be all for this video. Take care. Bye bye.